All right, so the whole plan was to start with the poetry contest announcement. I think a lot of the people in our group, or the Eve Poetry group, the ones that participate in my Facebook group, Writers and Poets Cafe, I think a lot of people are probably sleeping right now. But for those of you that were able to join, I'm happy you're here with me. Thank you. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the contest. What are the works that you have written? I've written quite a bit of things that you can see on my Instagram account, Eve Poetry. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it's so late. I still want to do a poetry contest that is your peers vote for the best entry. And the way to do it where people are voting on an anonymous piece and trying to figure out a way for everybody to be able to see the entries and then do the votes, it just was taking too long, and I wanted to have another contest in the meantime. So for this contest, it will be a more traditional contest where you will be submitting your entry, and I do have judges. I am not judging it, but I'm going to help make sure that everybody that submitted followed the rules, but I won't be judging the actual winners. So this will be a themed poetry contest. The theme for the contest is lucky. And here are the contest rules. The first one is the poetry can be written in any poetic style. That's not actually a rule, but it's just a guideline that you can choose whatever poetry style that you wish. The poem must use the theme, lucky. The poem has to be written in English. The contest entry must contain at least 2, but no more than 5 lines. The poem must contain proper spelling and clear intentional line breaks. There are 2 different ways that you're going to have to enter the poem, 2 separate ways. The first is that you're going to post it to Instagram with 2 hashtags, Lucky Poetry Contest and Eve Poetry Group. So Lucky Poetry Contest is one of them, and the other one is Eve Poetry Group, which quite a few of you are probably already using that right now. The second, you are going to send an anonymous version of it to an email address that I will be providing in the post following this. So there is going to be an email that you will also send the anonymized version of it. The next part of it is that entrants must be following these accounts: Letters and Press PDX, Eve Poetry, Eve Poetry Group. Now those 3 accounts, 2 of them you might already be following, my Eve Poetry and then my group, but the third one is Letters and Press PDX, because that person, Tori, is the person who is going to be creating the prizes. Make sure that my hours, at least you're following me, because I've had people enter my contest and also be featured both in my group and also be featured on my page even for live readings, and then they unfollow me later on. So in addition to please be following myself and my group and Letters and Press PDX, if you unfollow after the contest, I will be banning and blocking people this time. So I'm going to be kind of bringing down the hammer, I guess. Additionally, the poem must be original work by the person entering the contest. And then finally, plagiarism will not be tolerated and will result in being blocked and banned from the group and future contests. So that's kind of a no-brainer. The judging criteria for the contest: all the rules must be met 100%. The poems will be judged based on relevance to the theme, creativity and originality, a flow and the clarity of expression, and overall impact to the reader. Thank you, Zoe. Poet Mama, that's my daughter, Zoe. Giving me some love. Thank you, honey. Timeline. Entries will be accepted beginning tomorrow, February 22nd, 2019, and the deadline for entries is March 17th, of this year. We will not be accepting any more entries after 11 p.m. Pacific, March 17th, which is actually St. Patrick's Day, which is convenient because the theme is lucky. All right, the prizes. We'll be selecting 2 winners. The 2 winners, well, I will not be selecting, the judges will be selecting 2 winners, and each of the winners will be receiving a hand-penned version of their entry by a calligraphy artist, a local calligraphy artist here in Portland. And that is the Letters and Press PDF. This is an example of what you'll be getting. This is like not going to show up well on this. Yeah. So I'm afraid I'm not going to do it justice. So I will be mailing the piece in the middle. But this is a 5x7. In addition to winning a penned piece of your work, you will also receive a shout out and a feature both on my page and Eve Poetry Group. Questions? I think I saw one that went, and I kind of, where can I find the rules and regulations? Following this broadcast, I'm going to post one that you can read or reread on both Eve Poetry Group and Eve Poetry. So by tomorrow morning, you'll have all of this lined out for you, and you can read it and go back to it, and as much as you need to. Thanks. Posting the contest rules and criteria, but then I will also be posting samples of the beautiful work that Letters and Press PDX does. So you're gonna see a much just more realistic display of what it looks like. It's a little bit hard to capture that on the video because it's just my cell phone live quality. It's just not gonna do it justice. So I will be posting a couple of different pieces that she penned for me in her beautiful calligraphy this weekend, so then you can see exactly what it is that you'll be getting. Yes, I'm a writer. Right? Predominantly poetry for Instagram, just for the sheer fact that it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier format to share on such a small little square, right? And sometimes I do have a little bit longer things, but I usually don't share as much of my longer pieces on Instagram. My ring. Well, if I show you my ring, you're gonna see my my stamp from Axe League tonight. So I throw axes on a league, and with any questions that you have, like, that will answer pretty much anything you could possibly ask. However, if you still have questions once you read through the contest rules, judging criteria, all of that, go ahead and just DM me, and I'm happy to answer that. You can either DM me or email me. You can find my email on my profile. I want people to use the hashtag Eve Read My Poem. So I'm about to go through the hashtag and read a couple pieces for you guys. Feeling crowded, but no one is here. Consumed with all my deepest fears. Our love ran off its tracks. Time spent we can't get back. Swallowed by emotions I've hidden away. Knowing deep down this love wouldn't stay. Distance grew between us two. A stranger that I never knew. You could never give your heart to me. This love was never meant to be. Falling so hard in all the wrong ways. Your commitment issues, I couldn't stay. So many lies I wish weren't true. Deceiving memories we can break through. The hardest part wasn't letting go. The hardest part is what you still don't know. And that was by Poet Mama. This is by _Sarah writes. Your life has a purpose. You're alive for a reason. It's up to you to go out and find out what that reason is. And life will try again and again to knock you down. And yes, sometimes it will succeed. Worry, doubt, fears, hate, pain, tears. It'll all be there. But after you fall, pull yourself back up. Don't let one bad day, month, year take away an entire future. And you are loved, you are wanted, and you are needed. No one can replace your unique soul. The bad days may seem never ending, but soon there will be a new beginning. When a door in life closes, and you really wanted that opportunity. You find a window and you fight like hell for it. Don't give up. Not on yourself. Not on life. Not on this world. Breathe in. Breathe out. Know your true worth. Know your worth more than the doubts you have right now. Never question your importance. Fill your life with people who push you forward, not those who hold you back. And if life seems too hard to go on, go out and sit amongst the trees. Listen to the breeze. Take in everything that some people can't. Breathe. Just because you can. There's going to be bad times where life is hell, but it's those times that make it worth fighting to get the better times. There is no life that hasn't had to find light in the night. You're not alone, and you must go on. Because no matter what you think right now, the world does want you. And one day, I hope you see just how beautiful life can be. That was beautiful, Sarah. Well done. Here is Black on the Rocks by Run Rock Recovery. There's a bad moon on Broadway, where Tijuana tacos roll on paper plates. Next door, Hangover Harry's blasts the juke, so the Barbarellas can twist and burn. Detective Jill takes notes and draws outlines next to the theater. It's gonna be a long night, he says. There appears to have been vendettas on the playbill. 2 from behind times 2. The only waitress, a stray cat in heat, rubs up against his leg. The cook makes his way over with a Boilermaker grin. Not tonight, says the detective. Can't you see I'm working? Never stopped you before, friend, says the cook. And that was Black on the Rocks by Run Rock Recovery. The next one I'm going to read, Undercover Poet. _undercover_poet. The spring sapling choosing her pathway to bloom under the bare of winter hanging twigs. She is showing it to them too, a reminder of what is to come. I must let her ripen according to her nature in her. I must water and feed her from what I have been given. The stem picks her every time, but I always replant. I know I need to, even when I long to display her on a kitchen table in a protective vase. Because a flower is a vase, and it looks pretty for a day, or maybe 3. But it is always a fight for its own living day as it wilts away. This life is not about me. The mother soil is where she goes to breathe, and to be and grow, and maybe I'm not a single parent after all. The next one I'm going to read is by Elegant Musings. Love and pain. We do love. Hearts might shred. Eyes glisten. Lips with touch do we yearn. Our soul will read a litany of passion a lover may imagine. Inside the grace of love, is it true we feel the loss as well? Always. And that was by Elegant Musings. All right, so this last one I'm going to read is by JDC Wrights. It's called Reflectivity. Forget the pitchfork. Check the mirror. The image seen couldn't be any clearer. Look real hard past all the smoke. Grin all you want, but it's no joke. It isn't a beast that is your burden. It isn't that old serpent from the garden. It isn't a demon who you think needs a pardon, but rather a heart that is stiffened and hardened. A place once soft and plush to press, now coiled inside of a hollow nest. It is your flesh that's meshed in sesh to the soul of a man that could care less. Do not blame the demons who you jury and try. Do not point your finger at the one in the sky. The enemy is you, a reflection to blame, who since being broken has stayed the same, who hardened his heart when instead should have cried, rejected all help before he died. Who told the ones no that loved him so, and slept in a bed sewn from his own thread? So tell your Jekyll no, and your Mister to hide. This is the true you of what's on the inside. It's not the act of those who come out at night. It's the man in the mirror who can't stand his own sight. So when you turn off the lights, tell your darkness to stop. Because it's not who lives under the bed, it's the one who sleeps on top. And that is gonna wrap it up for me, you guys. I know a lot of you are so tired. I'm a little bit tired. It's been a long day for me, but this has been amazing. I appreciate you guys for, using the hashtag and wanting me to read your poems, and I want to do a lot more readings. I will be doing a lot more. Don't hesitate to email me or direct message me with questions about the contest. Try to see if you can find answers first through the post, and if not, I'm totally fine with getting questions, and I'm happy to answer them for you, okay? All right, you guys, good night. Thank you so much for staying up with me, and I will talk to you guys soon, okay? Bye.